Welcome. I think I know most of you, but for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mr. Bishop. I'm the athletic director. Going on year 4 now. Prior to being Palma's athletic director, I was a college basketball coach at the Division I and II levels for about 25 years. I got 2 daughters. One's a freshman in college, one's a freshman in high school. So I am exactly where all of you are as parents, but also an athletic director and a coach. So I wear a number of hats. I have heard just about anything and everything your kids will come to you with through my time. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit later. Our varsity basketball coach is Coach Lopez. Leo, is he on here somewhere? Well, we'll wait. I'll let them talk at the end.
He should be here somewhere.
Yeah, Coach Lopez has been here longer than me. I would have put years on there. Varsity volleyball, Coach Hirst is back again. And for wrestling, Coach Jimenez is back. So we are, again, I am super lucky to have the coaching staffs all across the board, especially with these 3 head coaches here running our programs. There's a wealth of knowledge and experience among the 3 of them in their sports and working with your sons. So we're in good shape there. Okay, some general stuff for practice now. Wrestling is going to come into the wrestling room, so it's a little bit different. I didn't want to make the slide too wordy. Basically, volleyball and basketball will check in at the front gate. Kids need to have masks on. Wrestling, they need to have a mask on as well. They will be doing a temperature check. For those of you that are back on campus, you're kind of used to this already. We've been doing it for sports now, it seems like, since August. Please self-symptom check at home. I know this kind of goes against everything we as coaches preach throughout the years where, you know what, if you don't feel good, go to practice anyway. If you don't feel good, please don't come to practice because your 3 sports are indoor sports, and we know that's where a majority of the issues happen as far as the spread of COVID. So again, if your son doesn't feel well, even if it's a little bit, just keep him home. The coaches are not going to hold it against them. I better not have a coach saying you should be at practice even if you don't feel good. So with our shortened season, you're kind of putting the season at risk if that happens. So self-check at home, please. Coaches will be required to wear masks at all times. We are asking athletes to be masked up. So if you come in and we're doing stretching stuff, we want them wearing masks. Basically, we're wearing masks as much as possible, and we're distancing whenever possible. Sorry, I'm the only one home tonight, so my dog has just lost her mind. And there's going to be no spectators at practice. It's enough for our coaches to get our kids in and out symptom checked. I know this is hard. We've been doing it for football, cross country already, and all of our other outdoor sports. So we're not changing anything. I'm not punishing you as parents for being indoor sports. We're just doing no spectators at practice right now. So, as we go along, if you have questions, feel free to stick them in the chat. I can't see my chat right now when I'm sharing the screen, but when I get to the end, I will go through the chat and answer any questions that you may have. So that's going to kind of go over practice right there. Testing. Here's the big piece for these 3 sports. The guidance that just came out fairly recently is going to require us to test once a week, and that the test results are available within 48 hours of gameplay. So I'll get to the schedules in a minute. We're using Capstone Labs. We have tested 2 times now. We tested all our football players about a month ago when they were in the tier that they needed to test, and we tested our faculty and staff last week. So the nice thing about this test is that it is not the brain scrape. They just kind of tickle up in your nose a little bit. It wasn't bad at all. So just kind of keep that in mind for those of you that haven't done the testing, or those of you that have had testing and just like it was the most awful thing ever. So anyway, it's not that bad. I purposely found one that did it this way because I didn't want my brain scraped. So anyway, we're going to test every Wednesday right now, starting tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. in the MPB. So practices are going to kind of bounce around that. That'll be toward the end of wrestling practice. It'll probably be toward the end of basketball practice and the beginning of volleyball practice once we get both those guys going in the gym 5 days a week. So basketball was given paperwork to take home. Wrestling was given paperwork to take home. Volleyball, because we didn't go today and I didn't get the stuff in soon enough last week, I tried to email all of your stuff. Now, if it came out small, send me an email tonight and I will scan and do another one for you first thing in the morning. And get it to you, but please double check. If it prints out as like a little picture size thing, I apologize. Just the format they sent it to me in. I spent an hour on it this afternoon before I sent it out, and then Coach Jimenez graciously came in and told me, nope, it looks really small when you get it. So if volleyball players, if you got it and it's small, please let me know. I'll do another one for you so you have time to do it tomorrow. The big thing with this is you will not be billed. The way this works is that the testing company, they are going to take your insurance information. They will send it to your insurance. There will be no copay affected. There will be no deductible affected. Your insurance company will in turn make a decision how much if they're going to pay the whole thing, if they're not going to pay the whole thing, and then they will just send you a statement. The lab does not bill. Okay, they will have promised me, and I've seen it already now, and I've talked to other schools that are using it. This lab, they've been great. If the insurance company only wants to pay half of it, then you are not going to get a bill. What you'll get is a statement, and this came up last week, so I saw it firsthand. It was a little confusing. You might get a statement that says Blue Cross Blue Shield paid X number of dollars, and then it says you owe the oh no, I forgot what the word was. You owe the provider. Well, the lab is the provider. You do not owe the lab anything. The lab will not send you a bill. So you will get a statement of what was paid by the insurance company, and that's fine. You will not get a bill. If you do get a bill, please let me know, but you should not get a bill. So just so everybody's aware of that. You will not get charged. If you do not have insurance, that's totally fine. On the paperwork, just make sure that you write down no insurance, and then the lab bills the state. So that's part of the COVID testing requirement, is that the CARES Act covers any testing. So there's no bill involved whether you have insurance or not. I'm going to go quickly through the pages I did send home. Adam, can you see my mouse moving around? Okay, good. Okay, so first page, there's a yellow box. You need to fill out everything in the yellow box minus the Social Security number. You do not need to do your Social Security number there. And then down at the bottom, it says patient, parent, guardian, signature, and date. If your son is 17 years or younger, you will sign this for him, okay? And you will date it. He will also need a copy of your driver's license, all right? If you signed it, it's your driver's license and a copy of the insurance card. If your son is 18, he can sign it, and then we'll bring a copy of his driver's license and your insurance card. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If your son is 17 or younger, I need the parent to sign it, and I need a copy of the parent's driver's license and insurance card that comes with them tomorrow, okay? Page 2 will look like this. You need to fill out the top part where it says patient name, address. In facility name, just put Palma School. Don't worry about the rest of it. They send all the results to, well, you'll get a result email for your son, but then I get a group listing that I have so I can check and make sure that we're good. You will just click laboratory report right there. And then again, 17 or younger, parent sign. If you're an 18-year-old, you can sign. Page 3, basically fill out all of this stuff. And I know it's kind of a double because they ask you for insurance information on the first page, but please just do it again. So that's just a snapshot of page 3. So basically, they want to know you're a private resident, which I think all of you are. And again, if it's asking you occupation, your kids are other, okay, because they're students. And then the last page, finish answering the last set of questions. Basically, it's have you traveled, have you had any symptoms, and then again, parent, sign, or date. So there's 4 pages. I need all 4 of those pages signed, filled out, brought back with a photocopy of the driver's license and insurance card. After tomorrow, All you will need to do is have this page done from here on out. It's one page. It's no more copies of driver's license. It's this page filled out, signed. They'll take it in, and it'll go quicker. And the way it's going to work is kids are going to go in. They will go through their paperwork. They'll put them in the system. They will get tested, and then they'll answer 6 or 7 questions. They'll have 2 teledocs on iPads. They'll answer 6 or 7 questions, and then they'll be out. From the time you actually hand in the paperwork, if it's filled out, it literally takes 5 or 6 minutes, I say, right? Or Adam? Yeah, it doesn't take long at all. The longest part is if people forgot to fill out paperwork and she's got to take pictures of licenses and stuff like that. So if you don't have access to a photocopy machine, it's totally fine. Just bring a driver's license and although I don't know if you want your son carrying your driver's license around, but you can bring it with you, or you can take a picture of it and they can get the picture off of your son's phone. So we can do that too. Okay. Why are we doing this? We're doing this because the new guidance says for us to practice live 5-on-5, full contact, wrestle or hold volleyball matches, we have to test weekly and the results have to be made available. So for basketball, the game schedule is going to be Thursday, Friday every week, and we're working backwards from June. Because the numbers are dropping, we're still holding out hope. We're actually working backwards from May because we're still holding out hope that there will be some sort of CCS if the county lines drop. They're not going to make that determination until April. And because they're not making that determination until April, we're kind of boxed into we have to be done by the last day of league play. So June is the absolute latest that games would go. But we would only be playing in June if there is a CCS or something to that regard. Mask may be required while playing. So I don't have a final verdict on this one yet because California Department of Health says, yes, you should wear a mask while playing indoor sports. However, they also tell us that to play indoor sports, we need to follow the higher education guidelines. Well, the higher education guidelines, if any of you are watching any college basketball on TV right now, require everybody on the benches to be masked and coaches to be masked, but not players. So I'm still working on that. I will have an answer one way or the other when we get to games. However, I have told all the coaches, just have them wear masks when they're practicing so they're used to it. I've seen enough high school games on ESPN and on TV to know that there are a number of states that are requiring their athletes to wear masks while playing. Now, I don't know if they're requiring the testing piece or not, but I do know kids throughout the country are playing with masks on. Whether that's ideal or not, it is what it is. Masks will be required on the benches for volleyball, sideline for wrestling, sideline for basketball. We will space them out. We'll take care of all that. No gaiters, okay? No gaiters. Now, some of you may say, well, they let me wear a gaiter in football or in lacrosse. 2 completely different sports because of the helmets and because of how you got to get a mask on and off under the helmets. That's why gaiters were allowed out there, okay? No gaiters for any of our sports. And then fans will more than likely be allowed in limited numbers depending on location. At our place, for sure, we will allow fans. It kind of depends. Monterey Peninsula has decided that they're not going to allow fans. So it really kind of depends on who we're playing. I know Hollister is planning on allowing fans. Yes, I'm hoping that most places are going to allow fans, but we're trying to get kids out playing, so I'm not going to fight it too much. Travel to games. No busing this year, although you guys do have smaller teams. We are going to ask parents to drive. However, if there is a situation where you can't get your son to a game, we do have the vans and we have the ability to take a couple kids masked up with a coach in a van. So if it becomes a big issue, let me know. If you're okay with your son carpooling with another parent of another teammate, that is fine too. I do not want kids driving kids. We will bark on this all year. No kids driving kids to games. Okay. No kids driving other kids to games, please. And then again, I'll have a better idea of fans as we get closer to games. I think most venues are going to allow fans in there. Trainer. So in a normal year, you guys, volleyball would be in the spring, wrestling, basketball would be going at the same time as soccer. We, as of last Thursday when cross country finished, we have 11 sports currently going right now and 1 trainer. Okay. So she is kind of parked outside of the weight room. I know that's going to be different for the indoor sports because usually in the indoor sports, she's hanging out inside with you. She's not going to be hanging out inside. She's going to be parked out there because that's where a majority of our kids are right now. She will definitely treat injuries. As the rehabs start to build up, she's working on kind of a sign-up sheet so she can handle that. Fortunately, right now, the weather is really nice and she can spread kids out outside. If we have to move to where she's working out of her room, then we're going to have to sign up for specific rehab times. She will tape injuries. If you're someone who's like, oh, I like to get taped before games, just be preventative, you need to get used to wearing braces. All right. We're not taping for preventative measures. We're only taping for injuries. It just lowers her contact and her chance of exposure because I do not, she's treating a lot of different teams. So we're going to be as safe around her as possible. And you will definitely be needing to wear a mask when you are being seen by Jessica. So you're more than welcome to pop out and see her. She's basically on campus from 3:00 to between 6 and 6:30 every day. Okay. So even if you don't have practice, you can go out and see her. Again, like I said, she'll treat injuries. But if you're an ankle taper, just because you like it, you need to get used to wearing braces this year. Okay, chain of command. Wouldn't be a parent, player, coach email or meeting if I didn't go over chain of command. The biggest thing here, player to coach. Okay. Most of our issues can be solved in that conversation right there. Typically, that conversation can be had at any point in time, before practice, after practice. Every player should be working on talking to their coach. And it's a hard thing to do for kids. But, when we talk here at Palma about taking boys of promise and turning them into men of character, being able to stand up and have conversations for themselves is definitely one of those things. And it starts right here. Athletics is a great tool in helping Palma turn our boys into men of character. If for some reason your son, and this happens quite often, is not relaying the information in a way that you feel is satisfactory, then you, as a parent, have the right to set up a meeting with the coach. Please don't walk into practice and say we need to meet right now. Okay, just reach out via email or phone. The coaches will let you know when they talk to you guys individually. And then I would like your son at those meetings, because 9 times out of 10, and I've been in a bazillion of these meetings. As a coach, as a player, as an AD, as a parent, a lot of times what is said to the player is not what gets relayed to the parent, which is what causes probably about half of the issues anyway. So make sure that your son is there, to kind of be part of that conversation. Now, if for some reason that the coach can't handle whatever's going on, then that's where I get involved. And if there's a reason that I can't manage that situation with all of you, then we would go to the principal. However, if you go right to Mr. Sullivan or right to me, the first question Mr. Sullivan's going to ask you is, have you talked to your athletic director yet? And he will send you back to me. And then my first question will be, have you talked to the coach? So if your son has not talked to the coach, save yourself a couple phone calls, tell your son to talk to the coach. And then, if that conversation takes care of it, great. If it doesn't, then you're more than welcome to reach out. If you need to reach out about something in general, not related, to the coach or your son, email is the best way to get a hold of me, as most of you know. That's just the easiest way. I'm much faster with email than I am with phone messages. Okay, a couple more things. Spiritwear, athletics app. So the athletics app is going to be huge this year, just because in a normal year, your schedules would be up and posted. And in this year, we're still trying to figure them out as we go along, unfortunately. But they will get up on the app as soon as I can. And so it's the Go Chieftains right there. You can get them in the App Store. You can get them in Google Play if you have an Android. Favorite your sport. So if your son's a varsity volleyball player, when you go to the varsity volleyball tab, there's a little star there, hit it, and you will get any update that I put in there. If there's a scheduling update, you'll get a notification. If you can't make it to a game and there's a score update, you'll get a notification. It's pretty cool. So I encourage you to make sure you get that. We're new with Under Armour this year. Under Armour has an online store that's going 24/7. you can get to it from the Palma Athletics page. And then if you want something quicker, Ace High still has a lot of Palma gear that you can just go down to and purchase from those folks as well. It's about it for spirit wear. Okay, other items. I still have an athletic council. Our athletic council president is actually on this Zoom. I'm not going to make him talk, but he is on this Zoom. Our responsibility as the athletic council is to raise money for athletics. Now, athletics has bills even when we're not playing. Now that we're playing, we have more bills. So we're doing okay thanks to fireworks, the spaghetti feed, and the chowder feast. And we have the golf tournament coming up, which I'll have more information coming out too. But if you know people that want to golf, or if your business likes to golf, we're going to be at Poppy Hills this year. So I'll be e-blasting here in the next week or so, information on that. As far as athletic clearance, pretty much all of you on here, I think all of your sons are cleared and ready to go. Thank you for your patience on that. Trying to clear 13 sports in a month period when most people were kind of like, we're probably not going to play sports and didn't do anything back in August has been a chore. But we're pretty close to being done with it. So thank you. And then lastly, the sportsmanship piece. A football game in Fresno last week. It's pretty quiet when there's only 4 or less people per kid on the sideline. So, it's real. If you're a person who likes to yell, it's very obvious for me to tell who's yelling what now. So remember, we just want to cheer your sons on. We don't want to yell at the officials. Cheer your son on, cheer Palma on. Save the derogatory comments for later. Please don't yell at the opposing team. Please don't yell at the officials. Just want to kind of make sure we get that out there. Okay, let me hit the chat real quick, and I will answer. I think I've got some questions in here. Yes, I will email forms for those that are not attending in person. And I can't email the slide. I am also recording this video for tonight, and I will put it on our website so you have access to pop onto the video and watch it. So I remembered to record it this time. I kind of screwed that one up last time. So if you have questions, you can either unmute yourself and shout it out real quick, or you can throw it in the chat. If not, I am going to put Coach Hirst on the spot. Oh, I got a chat. Hang on just a second. What date does basketball practice start? Kelley, are you on here? Leo, go ahead. You can.
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you go ahead and take that one.
What day does basketball start? Great question. We've been working on stuff for a few weeks now, at least. I think there's patience, which is probably the key word for this year, until I have a target start date. So once we figure out the start date, we will probably work backwards from there. We're getting cleared hopefully tomorrow to really practice however we please. But that being said, we have, 10 to 11 kids still right now. And, the kids are still trying to figure out their schedules and, things like that. So more to come, but I would anticipate once we have a first game target date, we will probably start somewhere around, 2 weeks prior to that to officially be practicing.
And just so one other thing too, just so everybody's aware, we got over 80 kids right now playing football, and most of your games for all 3 of you are not going to even be scheduled until the middle of April. We really want to give, and part of it with all of our sports being thrown into one, your sons did what they normally did. They signed up for football, they signed up for basketball, they signed up for baseball. Well, the problem is now all 3 of those sports are going at the same time. So I really don't know how many kids on the football team are going to come out for basketball, are going to go out for baseball, are going to go out for lacrosse when they disperse. So we're kind of, while basketball can start to practice however they want, same with volleyball, same with wrestling, we're not going to have any games until mid to late April, and then we'll run them, mid to late April through May, and that'll give the coaches a chance to figure out, do we actually have 2 teams? Is there a chance we might have 3 teams? Are we only going to have 1 team? There's just kind of a lot up in the air to do that. So yes, your son, if it should continue to go to workouts right now. I do know now that we're going to test, I think most of all three of our sports are planning on moving to 5 days a week here pretty quickly. I would imagine probably after spring break is when we kind of start looking at that, depending on numbers. Okay. Hopefully that answered that question. Did you say a copy of your insurance card is required with the paperwork? Yes, a copy of the insurance card and a copy of your driver's license if your son is 17 or younger and you sign. Yes, so I need 2 things on the piece of paper: insurance and driver's license. If you don't have insurance, that's okay. Just write in the box, no insurance, and then they obviously wouldn't need a copy of the insurance card, and the lab will bill the state for that. Bum, 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 bum. Do we need to reserve tickets for games? Okay, so tickets are going to work like this. Because as of right now, for football, we're being allowed to do immediate family members only. So at the very least, we will be doing immediate family members only for your 3 sports, hopefully more. I just have a ticketing thing it's going to get launched tonight for football. And when we have games, home games, you will go online into this ticketing thing. However many tickets we're allowed to give, they will be attached to your son's student ID number. So you'll go in, you'll put in your son's student ID number, and then if we're allowed to give you 4 tickets per kid, then you would purchase those 4 tickets there. You'll have them on your phone. You'll come to the game. You'll get scanned, or you can print them on paper if you want to print at home, and you can turn that paper in at home when you get to the game. So that's how we're going to do tickets. So for all of our home games, I don't ever promise anything, but our parents will at least be able to get in. Hopefully we'll be able to give, we'll be in a range where we can have a certain percentage of seating, in which case, you should be able to bring some siblings or maybe grandma and grandpa. So I'll have more information on that, but there's no tickets for you to get yet, but they will come directly to you. And I have it set up so we'll have X number of tickets, but no one can get on and grab your tickets. Your tickets will be there as long as you want them. So hopefully that answers your question. And then, basically, we're going to follow the COVID protocols. I know people sometimes want to ask or don't want to ask. Due to the nature of the indoor sports and the contact that happens in wrestling and the contact that happens in basketball, if we end up with a positive test, we're going to have to shut it down for probably a minimum of 10 days. So it is important that your kids are making good decisions, staying healthy, washing hands, doing all that stuff, wearing their masks, trying to social distance, because again, just due to the nature of these sports and practice, they're going to be well within 6 feet, even when masks on indoors. And in wrestling, from safety, when they're actually wrestling, they're not going to have masks on. So as far as away games, I have no idea. I can't answer that. I can say, to the best of my knowledge, Hollister will be allowing fans. How they're going to do it, I don't know. They may want a list from me. They may do some sort of online ticket thing as well. I'm not sure yet. This has been an unbelievably fly by the seat of our pants deal for the athletic directors in our league that are trying to get our kids playing games. I can't even explain it. If you want to take some time to track me down early next August, I'll tell you all about it, but it'll blow the meeting out of the water. So we're doing the best we can. We'll get you into as many games as we can. I'm really hoping for all of them, because I'm asking you guys to drive your kids to games, and the worst thing that I'm going to hear is, well, I got to drive my kid to a game and I got to sit outside and I'm going to watch them play. I'm hoping that does not happen. So, but I can't promise that it's not. It shouldn't happen, but we'll see. It's out of my control what happens at other venues. I'll know ahead of time how other venues are going to be proceeding. But things are literally changing on a weekly basis. So, okay, we'll do this. I'll let Coach Lopez, give him just kind of 2 quick minutes to say some things. If he has anything more that he wants to say, if not, that's okay. Then we will go to Coach Hirst, and then we will go to Coach Jimenez. if you have any direct questions for them, I'm just going to have you guys go ahead and email them after this. Again, I apologize that I messed up the breakout rooms. The next time I do this, I will be better. Well, hopefully we don't have to do it again like this, but you never know. So anyways, Coach Lopez, you have the floor here.
I don't have much. I had the two things, Coach. How many teams are we going to have, right? We talked about that. We just going to have to wait and see. And then when will we start practicing? Again, wait and see when we have a date to work backwards from. But other than that, be flexible with us, and we're going to try to just make it work as smoothly and efficiently as we can. But that's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Coach Hirst.
So hi, I'm Coach Hirst. Even if I coached your son last year for about 2 weeks, we may have not met. So I am a first-year teacher at Watsonville High School. I played my last fall of college volleyball at CSUMB in 2018. And then I will be having an assistant coach who's not on with us tonight. She is just about to graduate and will be heading off to get her master's in clinical and mental health counseling in the fall. So she played volleyball at CSUMB with me. She'll be helping us out. And just like Coach Lopez, we will have a more set practice time and schedule after your boys finish spring break. This coming week, we have spring break, and I've been in contact with all of our players, just using Remind on when practices are going to be and what time they're going to fall. So they've all been pretty good with using Remind and getting that information. So I'm just going to keep using that. If you have any questions, the best email for me, I just put it in the chat, is just still my CSUMB email. I'm just about to get my master's in education, so I still have my college email. That's the best one to contact me with. We will be practicing in the gym after basketball. So when they figure out how many teams they're going to have, hopefully not 3 teams, we'll be practicing after them. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. If not, I look forward to coaching up your boys.
Yeah, I don't know that we're going to have 3 basketball teams, hopefully, because if that happens, someone's going at 6 a.m. or we're going to rotate through. All right, Coach Jimenez, you're up, buddy.
Oops, we unmute. Hi, guys. Pretty sure a lot of you guys know me already. For the wrestlers that are already in here, we're going already. So make sure you guys have everything cleared. Physicals in, testing tomorrow. We'll just take it. I don't know. I know we have a very high contact sport, so who knows what's going to happen with us. But until they tell us what we can do, we'll be in the room, getting better every day, getting in shape. And then when we get a schedule, we'll start wrestling, see what we can do. But we're going already. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Testing tomorrow so we can start doing some contact stuff, and then we'll be all set.
Thank you. Good question. Is there going to be practice over break? I'll leave that to each of the coaches to kind of let you guys know this week what their plans are for over the break. I've scheduled everybody on the calendar. So, again, it's kind of one of those things where we're going. I know, a lot of kids might need a break, but at the same time, some may be like, hey, we haven't done anything in so long. Let's go. But I'll leave that up to the coaches. It's a little bit different for both our volleyball and wrestling coach, because normally we just go plowing right through Christmas break due to games and everything. So this is kind of new territory for those guys. But the coaches will reach out to you this week kind of with their plans for next week. There will be no workouts or practice this Friday for Good Friday. Nobody will be going. But other than that, they'll let you know. So lastly, before I let everybody go, volleyball players, I sent the email. If it doesn't print in a normal size, please email me tonight and I will have something for you first thing in the morning. I'll print them, scan them, and send them back to you so you have some time during the day. So, okay, that's all I got. Thank you very much. I'll stay on here if anybody has any other questions. But I appreciate you guys taking the time. Get back, those basketball fans out there, get back to enjoying the games that are on TV tonight. If I'd had any other time, I would have scheduled around them, but it just didn't work.